Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Link Whisper webinar. We're thrilled for you to come and join us and learn more about the Link Health Dashboard and how we use it. And today we're going to demo a little internal linking cleanup using two of our user sites. And so there are many people who offered us their sites to use in the demo. So I want to say thank you to everyone that offered. Unfortunately, we can't do everyone's site, at least today. Today, we're going to do two sites, and we could potentially do future webinars where we take on some other sites. Is that correct, Matt?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, so if you didn't give us your site, or if you did and we didn't use it this time, we'll let you know when we start collecting sites for another live demo, and maybe we can get you live on here and walk you through the steps needed to fix anything that needs fixing. So I'm going to hand the mic over to our lead developer, Matt Bissett, and he is going to clean up some of our internal links on our user sites.
Absolutely. Thank you, Samara. I'll begin now.
Also, after this demo, we're going to do a Q&A about the Link Health dashboard, about anything you want. So feel free to pop your question in the chat like we've been doing, and we'll go through them in order, and you can ask your question. We'll take turns. So if you have any doubts or anything that comes up, anything you need help with, leave a note for us in the chat, and we'll get to it after the demo.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, starting off, we're looking at a site called Butter and Egg Adventures. And checking out the dashboard, we see that the site is in quite good health. It's got very few orphaned posts, and the link coverage is good. It's got some room for improvement, but for 143 posts, it's doing well for where we find it. Just the first step is to take a look at the orphan posts and see what's in the report. From the looks of this, we have these 4 posts look relatively easy to link, so we'll just hit the add button in the inbound internal links column to point links to these pages. And one note about the cleanup, one note about the optimization, we may only partially optimize or partially go through the site to highlight the features. We may not do the entire site, depending on just how much the link coverage changes as a result. Okay, we've checked for links for best outdoor laser tag spots in Alabama, and we'll go checking to see who looks like a good candidate. Ziplining.
Matt,
Yes.
when Link Whisper runs through and finds out what keywords to link to, is it looking for semantic keywords or exact keywords?
It does a mix of both. It does prioritize exact match because those are going to be the best ones, but it does also use semantic keywords, so it'll adjust for like being relatively close or kind of the same general idea when it comes to keywords.
Cool.
Matt, is the thing using where does the access to ChatGPT come in? Is it using it as it goes through the pages? Is that how it works?
It uses it in primarily in a full content scan. See, when you first hook it up and then you process the content from the site settings, it basically feeds all of your site's content to ChatGPT's AI. The AI processes it, gives you the results, and then Link Whisper runs with that stored data. There is some live processing that's done when you load the outbound suggestions if you have AI powered suggestions turned on. Does
You
that
know,
answer your question?
wait, I'm sorry.
Does that answer your question, or
Well, sort of. And I had another one. I for a period of time, I used a product called WordLift. I think there were some guys out of Norway or something. And what those guys did is they would, predicated upon keywords, they would write superficial pages that were intended to, intended to attract traffic. I don't think it never really worked, and so I discontinued them, but they've still got those pages there, and that's kind of a FYI slash question, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think I ran. I'm sorry.
Susan, Susan, see if you can help this person in the third window with a cut. Third window, cut. Sorry.
yeah, no worries. So yeah, could you just repeat your question?
Well, I guess it's kind of a statement slash question because I've got what I believe to be superfluous pages out there. I never got rid of them because I didn't want to go back through and get the links. So I guess it's kind of FYI. I mean, I don't know that it's going to cause an issue, but I wanted to apprise you of it. So their product created pages. Like if you'd say the Alamo, it would write a little dissertation on the Alamo and create a link to that page from wherever that was there.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting feature. Thanks for telling me about it. Currently, Link Whisper doesn't have something that would do that, but it's something that we have thought about, so it is on our idea board.
Okay. Well, their product never. I don't know. It was expensive and it never seemed to. It didn't seem effective. I didn't like it. I stopped using those guys.
Yeah, I've tested a couple of those, and I found that the context is frequently too short to make a good paragraph, and so it kind of sounds machine made and
Yeah.
just chewed out.
Yeah. And
Also,
this was.
something I've kind of wondered is that if it's following the keyword too narrowly, will Google ping it?
Yeah. As false or as AI. Yeah.
Yes,
I don't.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I get my traffic stinks. It stinks, and I'm hopeful. The one gentleman said he's been with you guys 3 years. I've been with you guys longer, but I'm excited about getting it. You guys don't cost very much, and so probably 4 or 5 years ago, when I was still working, I got you guys, installed you, and then never really got off the ground. So I'm hopeful that the magic kicks off here instantaneously.
Yeah, I hope so too, and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Can I ask a question while we're waiting for this?
Yeah, definitely.
So I've been using this for, geez, I don't even know how long you guys have been around for, but since very early days. And we've used it on a couple other sites and of our sites that for clients. But one thing I was wondering, is there a way with Link Whisper to remove links?
There absolutely is. If you go to any of the link drop downs, you'll
Yeah.
see a little checkbox in the upper right of the drop down. If you select that and then click the delete selected button in the drop down, Link Whisper will automatically remove the links.
Let me follow up on the question. Is it just links that Link Whisper has created, or is it other links that have been created by other means?
Yeah, all links that are on the site, with the one exception of links created by page builders. Because most page builders, yes, we can process, but if it's like a link inside of an image module, where the link is built right into the module, we can't remove that without breaking the module, so we don't even touch that. But anything if it's a HTML section from a page builder or a generic text area, then we can totally remove those links as well.
So we've had probably over the last 10 years, probably 100 full-time writers working for our site. And some links that have been created are probably not very good, and some of them are kind of short, like 1 or 2 word links. And then, is there any way I can like batch remove a bunch of those from the site?
Yeah, probably the easiest would be is if you went to the domains report, opened up the link dropdown for your site, and then just scroll down it looking for very short links.
Okay.
That's the easiest that exists at the moment. We are going to build an anchor, uh, like an anchor report that ties into our short anchors stat, so that way you can much more easily identify and fix links with just 1 or 2 words in the anchors. But it's not currently available.
Okay. Yeah, it might be. I might want to reach out with you after the call too, because like we have a pretty large site, probably larger than some other sites. It might be like a good test pilot for some things. I have some kind of advanced questions too, if that's possible.
Yeah, it totally is. We'd be happy to talk.
Cool.
Okay, and I've taken care of the orphaned posts, and now let's take a look at the link coverage report. And the link coverage report from the dashboard can look sort of alarming because it looks like 42% of the posts are failing. What it means is that 42% of the posts don't currently have 1 inbound internal link and 3 outbound internal links. So we can have posts that have 1 inbound internal link but only 2 outbound internal links, and they'll lower the percentage. So it doesn't mean that the page is unfindable by Google. It just means we have a little bit further to go before the page is registered as fully linked. As we can see from the report, it's suggesting how many links we need to add in order to bring each page up to the standard, and a bunch of these are service pages, so we can just kind of skip over these. In the future, we'll have a setting for ignoring these service pages, so that way we just say, okay, Link Whisper, you don't have to worry about those. This looks like one.
And have you guys got like a book on that, like a PDF that kind of has it I could print out and look at and see what all is what?
Yeah, we don't currently, but that would be a good thing to have.
Uh-huh. Are there I presume there's instruction at the side or maybe videos or something?
Yeah, we've got a full knowledge base that shows how to use Link Whisper and goes into a lot of the different features. We also have most articles have videos attached, so you can actually see what using all of the settings looks like and how they work.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing.
Matt, this is Ron of Butter and Egg Adventures. You're working on our site now, and I just want to tell you, I've only been with you for 3 or 4 months, but when I first started doing this, it was a great, easy setup to make these links appear.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. We try to make it just as easy to set up and get running as possible, so that way it's just okay. You just jump in there because your links should be easy. You shouldn't have to fight to install your plugin. Yes.
For anyone who's not speaking, would you mind maybe muting your audio? Just in case there's some background noise? It'd be great. Thank you. What's happening now, Matt?
Yeah, what I'm doing is going through the outbound suggestions to add a couple to this page. This page currently needs 2 links, so I've selected 2. This will reload. Looks like we have a lot of either short or service pages here, so we may have to leave a couple of these open.
And so if we get the suggestions to add links to service pages, we can generally ignore them?
Yes, we can. So it's like adding links to your cart page really isn't necessary and doesn't help SEO at all, so you can just ignore those.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, we'll have a setting so we can ignore those, but it's not available in this version of Link Whisper. Okay, we got that one already. Also, what can happen is that you can have relatively short pages, so there aren't enough suggestions, and then Link Whisper won't be able to find enough links to be able to complete the whole 1 inbound, 3 outbound strategy. And in most cases, just the answer is to lengthen the post and just add a little more detail there, and then it'll have enough room to add some links, and we can bring it up to the standard. Okay, we've added a couple links. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the coverage has gone up about 1.5%, so we're definitely going in the right direction. But yeah, it's going to be a little while before we can get, up to like 70%. To just touch on the link relation score, this site is really well linked. They're all very, very topographically related. So we'll just take a look and see what we can find for links that are maybe not topically related, just to kind of show, okay, what do we do when we come across those? And what I'm looking at here is the score in the outbound internal links column, because that tells us, okay, how related are the outbound links in this post to the post that they're linking to. And
So you're
so
looking
far
for a
these-
score that's less than 100 or less than what?
less than 60. Less than 60, we have to like take a look at it, but so yeah, if it is at 60 or below, the Link Whisper will add this little highlight effect so we can easily spot it. And if that highlight's not there, Link Whisper will still highlight links as, if they have a low content relatedness. It won't advise that we delete them, but it does point them out so that we could just easily spot them if we want to.
So even though you get at 100 score or even something above 60%, if you dig in a little bit deeper, you could find that you're linking to content that does not have a good content relatedness score.
That's absolutely right.
So would you recommend going into each article, or really just as long as it's like 60% and above, you're good to go?
Yeah, I'd say as long as it's 60% and above, you're good to go. If you want to file it down much more closely, you can go article by article, and sometimes you'll find a link here or a link there, and you just kind of wonder, what on earth is that one doing there? And it will improve your SEO to get rid of those. So it's a good thing to do, but if you're above 60, then there's probably other things you can pay attention to, and you'll get profit from.
Great.
We'll just do a quick look, see where this thing goes. What we're specifically looking at is to see, okay, does this post we're linking to mention laser tag? Yeah, it does not. And so it's very accurate with this, giving it a low score. And what we'll do is we'll just select it, click delete selected. Link Whisper will say, okay, are you sure you want to remove this? We'll say yes. And our content relatedness has gone up. Yeah, anything that's 50% or above is considered related. If it's less than 50%, it's considered unrelated. This thing's kind of borderline. So, it could be related, and if it's like 48, 49%, then in a lot of cases, I'll leave the link. But as long as the overall total links on the post are 60% or higher.
Is there a reason why every post, like on mine, every single one says content relatedness unknown? Why would that be?
Have you run the AI content or the relation scan?
I believe I have. I don't see it in the menu. Where would I find that to run it?
You'd go into the settings.
Okay.
Go to the AI settings, and then turn on the AI relation analysis, and then run the scan.
Okay.
If you have done that, then you probably need to run a new link scan, because since it could be that the data it needs to be updated, and running a link scan will tell Link Whisper to say, okay, correlate all of this AI data with these links, and then it should be able to show the results then.
And follow up on that, is there a way to, like, can you run these for everything on your site and say, okay, these are 100 or these are just not relative at all? Is there a way you can like kind of rank them or sort them by percentage if you want to like remove links that do not have like a good relationship, if you will?
Yeah, not currently,
Okay.
but that is something that we do plan to add. Yeah, because just going over the full list of posts, it can get kind of lengthy. Yeah, it's 48. That's not bad. In the meantime, what you can do to see more results is click on the screen options, increase the number of posts per page to like 100 or something like that. You don't want to go too high, like 500, but increasing that will show you more posts on the screen, and so you can just easily skim the report in much more en masse. Okay, so we removed the one link, and since the site was already really well linked, it didn't change the stats too far, so we're just doing good. Do you have a question?
I don't think that's a
Okay,
question.
and the last, yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last thing we want to touch on is anchor quality, and we see that it's at 43%. And what that means is that the majority of the links on the site are either less than 3 words or longer than 3 words, or longer than 7 words. Just from what we've seen so far, probably it tends to be 1 and 2 site keywords, or one or two word anchors. And what we can do to automatically or just put some guardrails on that so that all of the links we insert are longer than that is to come to the Link Whisper settings, go to the advanced settings, and then set the minimum suggested anchor size to something like 3 words, and the maximum suggested length to 7 words, and then all of the suggestions Link Whisper shows us will be within that range. At the moment, the stat is only advisory. The report, like we have for all the other ones, is coming soon, but not yet available. It just, at the moment, you just take it as a piece of information and say, oh, okay, some of my anchors are either too long or too short. Yeah, and I think that's probably about it for this site. So we can go on to this site. I believe is Dave's site.
Dave, are you there?
Yes, I was muted. Yep, that's fine. Appreciate you guys.
Excellent.
Sure thing. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and yeah, look at it. We see this is quite a bit bigger site than the previous one. We've got some anchor coverage to take a look at. The external site focus is good. And just for those who didn't watch the previous webinar, the external site focus is the number of links that are pointed to a single external site. And we recommend that you keep it below 60%. And the reason is because we want you to have a fairly diversified outbound link profile, so that way your site looks natural and normal. And so if you've got a bunch of links going to Wiki, a couple of links going to maybe a different news site, or just, whatever is relevant, it looks like a much more normal, looks like more like a real site as opposed to maybe a site that's created just to either farm clicks or to just really cater to a single site. It looks more independent, and we think Google likes that better. If the site doesn't have a whole lot of links and the external site focuses up at like 80%, then I wouldn't worry. So like if you've got 50 posts and 80% of them are pointing to YouTube, then you just don't worry about it. Okay, and also to highlight, the link relation score is currently listed as okay, and that's because the OpenAI connection isn't set up, and presumably the AI data hasn't been obtained. So since Link Whisper doesn't have the data, it just says, okay, I need this connection in order to show this report, and it'll just list it as okay because it can't tell if it's either good or bad, so it just shoots in the middle.
So what did I not do? I mean, I thought when I put it in, what was I supposed to do to get it to integrate that?
Did you input the OpenAI key?
Yes, I did.
Did you process the AI data?
I don't know. I got the key and I'm not really sure.
Back into this.
Oh, okay.
So I asked AI.
Okay, yeah, it looks like
for some recommended recipes based off of wild fit. He gave me 17 recipes.
We are having a
Based
problem.
off the wild fit program. God, no. It's free.
yeah. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
After you input the API key, you have to turn on the AI relation analysis process. Then after that, hit Save Settings.
So what are the other two deals? Product detection and keyword analysis. I don't need to do anything with those, or
Yeah, product detection tells the AI to scan all of your post content and see what products are listed in the content.
okay,
And this is more relevant for either like affiliate sites or sites where you're selling something. So it helps you identify what it is what products you're referencing. If you do have products, we have a sitemap that shows you the pages where you're listing these things.
okay,
Keyword analysis is asking the AI to generate target keywords to improve our suggestions. That usually takes a little longer and can be a little more expensive, but it does improve your suggestions considerably.
okay. Now, when you say more expensive, you mean it's going to chew up some Chat GPT money? Is that what you're saying, or what do you
That is
mean?
correct.
Okay.
It's not going to be, it shouldn't be hugely expensive. I mean, for this site, it might be 50 cents, it might be $1.
Okay, well, pull the trigger, partner. I can handle that much. Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of when I was doing that, when I was putting it in, I didn't know what anything was, so I'm looking forward to, reading some materials, because it's like I said, I've had the product for a very long time, but I'm just now, it's been implemented, but now I am executing thanks to you guys. It's going to be incredible.
Oh man, that's that's so awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, the analysis can take a little while, so we'll just
Okay.
open the process and leave it here.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and coming back to the report, since our first stop is always the orphan post reports, we'll take a look here and just see what this looks like. Looks like we have a bunch of event pages.
Mm-hmm.
And messages. Okay, and for pages that we know we're not going to point inbound links to, such as event pages, what we can do is we can hit ignore orphaned post, and this will
good.
tell Link Whisper that we don't need to list it on the orphan posts report.
Yeah, that's good, because I've got a lot of those.
If you have a lot of orphan posts, there's also a bulk option side of the Link Whisper settings. What you do is you just copy all of the URLs that you want to ignore from the orphan post report, paste those into the orphan post, the appropriate field, and then Link Whisper will just ignore all of those posts from this report.
Oh, very good. En masse.
Okay, so start here.
Yeah, that's an orphan.
Which one? You mean this one?
Well, yeah, you had it on. There's Keith and Josh. Those are both the orphans for sure. And that's an orphan, John Fuller.
Going too fast. Who is Keith?
Keith's a buddy. A buddy. I mean, he said something and he asked for a response, so I gave it to him. I mean, and I just shot him rather than email, I shot him the summarization of what it is. So he's an orphan. Yeah, and that one's moved because it was. I used that for sure is an orphan. I use that one too, as a basis for a longer thing.
I see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so
And John's the same way. They asked for a response, and I gave him one. So he is orphan. That was simply for his benefit.
okay, right. So yeah, that'd probably be another candidate for ignoring from the orphan post report.
Cool. Yeah. And you said you can dump them in mass, right? Correct, Matt?
Yes, you can. Yeah,
Good.
we'll just do that real quick.
All right. Well, and you said just a moment. I gotta find the URLs to do it. Correct. So, I guess, and there's question here. So you don't want, well, orphan posts. Do they don't negatively impact anything, or do they your SEO? I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
internal. Beg pardon, sir.
Yeah, they don't. Since they're orphaned, Google can't actually find them, so it's about the same as if they never existed.
Okay, very good. So yeah, so they're not in an index anywhere or a menu or anything of that nature.
That is correct. Yeah, just to look at that really, the ignoring very quickly, what you can do is you can copy the view URL for the post. Go to the settings, content ignoring. And then in the post to be ignored from open posts report, add the URL.
Oh, very good. Cool. We'll do those all at once then, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. And what you can also do is you can export the links CSV, order the list of order the posts by the number of inbound internal links to find all of your orphan posts, and then you can just go one by one through the CSV to find the URLs in bulk.
Oh, cool. Okay, so, and what do you say? You said sort by inbound.
Right.
Yeah, it's I saw that CSV thing, and I use a tree product. You know, I mean, anyway. That's good though, but it doesn't do it. That very good. I'll just hush now. That of course is irrelevant to what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, I like all the questions are great, and since we have a lot of ground to cover, it's good to have something to talk about.
Very, very good. Yeah.
And a reason why we go for the inbound or for the orphan posts first rather than jumping on the where are you? Yeah, rather than just jumping immediately to the link coverage report is because orphan posts are our first priority, so that way Google can see them in the first place. And also by reducing the number of orphan posts, it does affect our link coverage score, since one of the metrics is the inbound internal links.
Okay. Well, now you said that Google could see them. So does Link Whisper do something that aggregates and presents them to Google? Is that what you're telling me? Is that correct?
Oh no, yes, inside the report. What is it? Basically, that Link Whisper can see the orphan posts because it has direct access to the site's database. Since Google doesn't have that access, it can't actually see the posts. We tackle the orphan posts first, so that way we can get them on Google's radar sooner, and then we can focus on linking them to other posts on the site. You know, particularly with the outbound internal links, so that way they just to improve the overall coverage. So our first priority is being seen by Google. Our second priority is to improve our linking network.
Well, and let me ask you one more time. So you said so Link Whisper, like what's being accomplished here is putting the orphan posts in in Link Whisper, and then and I'm asking, not telling. So you said that Link Whisper then presents those to Google. So it essentially indexes those within the site so that Google can see them. Is that what you just said, Matt?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, I guess in a sense it does. It doesn't index them and then present it to Google, but it does make the post visible to Google by adding a link to it. Because
Okay.
since Google has the robots that go from link to link to link, if there's no link to the post, it can't see the post. But if we add the link, then it can see the post.
And so the link is created within the Link Whisper product, and the Link Whisper product is hooked to the site. So they're aggregated and presented. Is that correct?
Um,
Can I
yeah,
step in here? I'm
not
sorry because I do
currently.
ask. I'm just gonna give you like my thoughts on this because I've been doing SEO for like 20 years. But
Yes.
Sure.
so this is the way that I would look at it. So when Google's crawling your site or even if it's like Bing or Microsoft, you want to make it as easy as possible for Google or Bing or Microsoft to find your pages, find the content on your website. So when you have orphan pages or orphan posts, it makes it more difficult for like the spiders to crawl your website. That is really the whole reason why internal linking is important and why it's helpful is because we're trying to make it easier for the search engines to find our pages, which
Okay.
also means that pages that are like garbage or if they're like category pages or things that don't matter, you don't really need to link to those because we don't care about those. That's really what it is. So
Okay.
when Google's crawling, you know, I work with a lot of really large websites, and sometimes we find people that did not do internal linking, and we have different ways of remedying it. But if you have important articles and Google doesn't rank websites, but it ranks pages. So
Okay.
every page of your website is going to have value. So when you do internal linking, it helps to pass the value from one page to another. So that's kind of the thing. When you have these orphan posts or orphan pages, if they're important, they should be linked to because you're giving a signal to Google that, and also possibly passing power from other pages to make them stronger.
Okay, dope. And what I'm understanding, what we're doing now accomplishes that it through Link Whisper. So
Right.
correct.
It goes
Okay.
into the database and it creates internal links. So when Google's crawling your site and crawling pages, it's going to find those links. So yeah.
Well, cool. I mean, this alone might make a difference. You know, 'cause my traffic stinks. It stinks. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I hope it can get this all boosted for you.
Yeah, I hope I'm excited.
Yeah, I am as well. It looks like a site with a lot of great potential. I think that a page cleanup might be in order, for like the pages that have been redirected or removed or that are orphaned, and we really shouldn't have links pointing to them. I think that a bit of a content prune would probably help and would be good both for uh, both from a SEO perspective, but also from a management perspective, so that way you can just oversee the entire site better.
Yeah, that'd be good. I've got this side. The three I'm messing with now, is this side. See, there's nothing even there. So this site, lottocentral.com and nativetexan.com, and so those are. I don't know. I've been online in one way, shape, or form since the late '90s. I've had successes and failures and blah blah blah. So right now I enjoy doing it, but it's not particularly successful. So anyway. but I'm retired, so I get to play around and do whatever I want.
That's true. Got lots of
Yep,
time.
yep. Lots of time, lots of time. And so right now, Matt, you're adding links. Is that correct, or what is transpiring right now, sir?
Yeah, I'm adding links to orphaned posts
Good.
since we've got something like 416 of them.
Wow.
There's,
Wow.
yeah, definitely. A lot of them
Yeah.
are are posts that have been deleted that should be cleaned up later. So, maybe the total count's only like 100, but
Well, when you say deleted, you mean so you're saying that when I delete something in WordPress that a residue remains and that's observable? Is that what you're saying?
no, we've got, for example, just go back to the first page. Like this page,
Uh-huh.
since the page has been moved,
Uh-huh.
this there's nothing of any value here. It should just be
Yeah.
deleted. And for the
Yes.
URL itself, so like if you're pointing to a different page, you should just create a URL redirect from this page to the new page, and then both Link Whisper won't list it as an orphan page because it shouldn't exist anyway. There's no content there. And also, Link Whisper will follow any redirects that you do set up. And so if there is a link that's pointing to this old page, it will follow the redirect to the new page and will say, oh, okay, so this page way over here is linking to the new page. So it does that improves its its reporting as well.
So then you said so a redirect from the page from the forwarding page, and that's, I guess that's accomplished within WordPress, correct?
That is correct.
You can do it automatically, Dave, too, with
Uh-huh.
so the best plugins to do it are probably the redirection plugin. And also if you do have the Yoast SEO premium, it'll do automatic like redirects for you. So if
Uh-huh.
you went to those pages and you deleted them, it'll have a message that pops up, and then you can just like pick the page you want to redirect it to. Those are probably the best
Cool.
ways to do it though for WordPress.
Thanks, man. Yeah, what the I don't use Yoast. When I get done with you guys, there's or after you instruct me, then there's another SEO product that the same thing as with you guys. I got it many years ago, and then day job, blah blah blah. So the next 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, is me trying to come up to speed on what I've been paying for.
Yeah, I've found that there's a lot of plugins that I have to catch up on sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to winnow them down. I got, I dumped a couple the other day, so that was, I got a lot of, it's, that site's been up for years and years, and you can see it needs some help. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, definitely. And we're here to help you, so
I appreciate it, man.
it's just great.
You
You're
guys are
welcome. I'm
fantastic.
happy to do it, and it's always fun to go and visit a new site.
Yeah, yeah.
We've completed the AI relation scan, so we can check out how that's doing. Oh, and the site is the links are all quite on topic.
Oh, good. Now that's just so those links there was nothing but the scan on that. There was nothing that was changed. So what were changed that might be of significance is hooking up the orphan pages. Correct, Matt?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Okay, so then that's good to know, but not going to impact any traffic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Let's just take a quick look in here and just see what the profile looks like.
Okay.
Like I mentioned last time, we'll just increase the visible pages so we can do this a little faster.
Cool.
Oh.
Let's see how we're doing. We should probably move on to some questions too, as soon as we're done with Dave's site. So some
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you want to ask them now, we can totally start in on questions.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the top of the list. Dorothy, are you still here? She had a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were sorry, you asked this like many moons ago. You wanted to know about, you get a 0 on inbound links. Do you want to tell us more about your problem?
Well, to add the links on the inbound links, I have a lot of zeros, and when I click add, nothing really shows up. But then I'll add another keyword and then something will show. So I kind of worked around the fact that when I click on add, I thought I would start seeing inbound internal links. And I was waiting and waiting, and we do have a lot of content on our site, and maybe that's part of it, but it just never seemed to show up until I added a custom, another keyword of my own.
Yeah, in that case, it is that there aren't enough keywords for Link Whisper to make suggestions. And have you connected to Google Search Console
Yes.
and completed the GSC scan?
I'm not sure about that. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay, yeah. If you ran the one-click setup, the scan was performed for you. If you haven't, then what you have to do is go to the target keywords report
Mm-hmm.
and then click refresh target keywords, and that will tell Link Whisper to scan from all of its keyword sources, including GSC.
Okay. All right, I'll give that a try. Thanks.
Sure thing. You're welcome.
If you still have issues after that, shoot us a message, okay? And we'll
I
we'll
will.
take a closer
And I
look.
get to where you just were by clicking. Where do I click first to get to that spot you were? Do I click on the links report or
Target keywords.
target keywords? Oh, I see. I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just to come back to this report here, that if there's a very low score on the content relations, Link Whisper will advise that you fix it. In this case, the anchor is an image, so we can't outright remove this.
Well, you wouldn't want that's okay. That is, I've got one product on there. It's a subscription product, and that's reporting of that subscription. So there, under register, there's two, group one and group two, I think is what I call them. So that's got to remain, and I don't want to get rid of those. Those are I got to have those.
Understood. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we don't just automatically prune all this, because sometimes things like, no, you just can't remove that because it's there for a special reason.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Can we take another question, Matt?
Yes.
Teresa, are you here? Teresa had a question about unrelated link suggestions. She says her issue is that the links often want to link to stuff that isn't really related. But she did say that she didn't run the new link scan with AI. So is that what you would recommend, Matt?
It definitely is, yeah, because that'll add a lot of guardrails to kind of keep you in the same topic lane, and should improve the relationship quite a lot.
Perfect. Isa has a question. Isa, are you here?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hello. Hold on, let me put the video on. Yes, hi everybody. Yeah, because I was concerned that sometimes maybe I actually put too many internal links, and I was wondering if it's if it could be a bad thing to put, because I have a travel blog, well, many travel blogs, and sometimes as I was explaining in the chat, sometimes I feel like I need to put those links because they are just expanding, they are contextual links and they're expanding the content that I have in the post. So, but at the same time, I'm not sure what's a good balance.
Yeah, there isn't a hard limit on the number of links. You do get diminishing linking returns. So like, for example, if you have a page and you link once to another page, that is considered a strong endorsement by Google. If you have a page that has 100 links in it, going to all kinds of different places, then Google will acknowledge the fact that you're linking to all these other pages, but it won't put a whole lot of endorsement weight behind each link because they're all spread out all over the place. So
Right.
there is that element of balance.
Okay. And what about the other way around? So if I have like a pillar post, like a city travel guide, and I link to a more like detailed post of one attraction of that city, it's good to link back from the attraction post to the main guide, like reciprocally backlinking, or not?
Yeah, you won't get a penalty for doing so, but if you think about it from the perspective of traffic management, it's like, where do you want your readers to go? Ultimately, you want them to land on your pillar content so they can go there and take whatever action you're advertising or whatever you're pushing. Basically, this is the thing you want to put in front of them and see. You don't want to give them too many reasons to leave the page. So
Well, my main goal is to keep them on the site and to give them the information they need. So to make them, for them, easy to find the information they want, basically. That's my main goal, because I'm not
yeah,
selling it. I'm just,
if it's going to be a relevant link, if it makes sense to come or to suggest a post in the course of reading, then I would totally do it.
Nick, are you around? Is Nick still here? Maybe Nick wants to weigh in.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Wait, hang on one sec. Nick, do you have any thoughts on this? Sorry. Wait, sorry. Hang on, Nick. Hang on, Nick.
mute. Can you hear me now?
There we go. There we go. Yes, yes.
So in general, it's kind of like, let's say you have a page of 1,500 words, a 1,500 word blog. It's kind of like when Google looks at your page and, let's say there's 1 link or 10 links or 100 links or 500 links. Depending how strong the page is, every page of your site is going to have like a certain amount of power, if you will. So every link that comes off of your page, whether it's an internal link or an external link, you're kind of giving some of that power or a vote kind of for other content on your site or another site. Therefore, you don't want to just put links into everything for no reason. You want to make sure that they're contextual. You want to make sure that they're proper. And Google is also, they like when people link out to other sources. If it's about, I think you said it's a travel blog or something like that. If you have sources for information, Google likes that. But the important thing is you don't want to put like 500 or 1,000 links and then it gets to the point where it's like spammy.
yeah.
So you want to do it in reason when it's proper. It's just like if you read an article on the web and there's 10 million links on it, you're not going to want to read it and it's going to make you angry. Same type of thing.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jafer, thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Jafer, did you want to ask a question?
Uh, actually, I think Nick already answered it, or he already gave some idea. But yeah, this is Jay, by the way, from Blue Crocus. So yeah, because on all the contents, I think it's totally based on how many words your content is and how many internal links you're gonna add there. Like as what Nick said, like around if your blog or page has around 1,000 words on it or 1,500 words, then I think the internal link should on there should be 8 to 10 internal links only. Depends on, and yeah, it doesn't make sense as well that you have a lots of internal links and at the end of the day, it the right anchor text or it's not there's no relevance at all on those pages that are being interlinked.
Great. So they should be contextually relevant, and you should not overdo it, and it should make sense for the reader, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, I have a question on this one. Do we have a way to edit the anchor text on the suggested links?
Yes, we do. What you can do is you can click edit. Well, it depends. Do you mean edit the link that's highlighted here, or do you mean edit the actual text in the post?
Yeah, like let's say like Link Whisper only suggested 2 words for the anchor text going to this going to this other page. We would like to like make it more like 3 or 4 words so that it will be much more descriptive on our anchor text. Is there a way, like for example, on this one, Christian doctrine, it's suggesting the Christian doctrine word only, but we would like to add Christian doctrine of Jesus Virgin, some sort of that on as our anchor text for
Yeah,
our link.
yeah, definitely. All you have to do is click on the words, and Link Whisper will expand the. You see how the link is turned, how it's gotten bigger and turned blue,
Okay,
and
got
so
it.
that's yeah, they're very easy. And if you ever want to go back to what it was before, click the undo button, and it'll just reset it. If you want to edit the text itself, you can click the edit sentence button. That'll pop up a little editor, and you can put in make whatever tweaks to the text you want to. You hit save, and when you insert the links in the post, Link Whisper will perform a content update to insert both your link and your content edit.
Okay, so this is inside the page or post, correct? Not
That's
on
correct.
the Okay, not on the report side.
Yeah, we're currently looking at the outbound suggestions, which is the post edit page, but this functionality also works on the inbound suggestions as well.
Okay, got it. So yeah, thank you so much. It answered my question.
You're welcome.
We don't have very many questions left. We have Maz. Maz, are you here? Do you want to ask your question? We can't hear you. Oh, maybe I will ask your question for you. The question is, how much should Link Whisper cost in OpenAI credit? When I first started using this new feature in March, it burned through $100 in a few weeks across 3 sites, which seems quite high.
That does sound quite high. I mean, just to averaging it out, that's $30 over the course of a couple of weeks. It probably only should have been a couple of dollars per site. How big were the sites?
Let's see if Maz comes back to us on that. Only 100 pages per site.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it shouldn't have been that high. Something went wrong, and it was running too much.
So what's the best remedy for that?
Yeah, uh, if ever you're seeing the costs go up like that, one thing, like the first thing to do is turn off the AI features of Link Whisper, so that way it's okay, we're just going to stop running. And then set your OpenAI account so it doesn't auto recharge, because that if it can just auto bill on you, then it'll just keep running up stuff. Once that's all set, come back to Link Whisper, turn the AI back on, and turn on. I guess in that case, it would probably be the simplest to just reach out to us at support and say, okay, I've got this problem. What do I do? And then we can go through debugging to figure out, okay, what exactly is it that's running up these charges? Because there's several processes at work. And so to determine which one it is would require either running each process independently, or like run a little bit, take one off, run a little bit, take the next one off, and then just narrow it down till you finally figure out, okay, which one it is. So I would say just turn off the flow of money and then reach out to us at support, and then we could take care of it.
Great, thank you. I think we'll take one more question if that's okay, right? It's like a couple
Totally
minutes
is.
past. Isa, did you want to ask your last question?
Well, yeah, sorry, there are technical questions basically, because you were mentioning that we should check if the Google Search Console is connected, but I cannot find. I think I did, but I'm not sure, and I would like to check, but I don't remember where to check. So where in the app I can check it. And the other question was, I wanted in the broken link scan, I have like 5,000 broken links. And then when I check, most of them are all affiliation links that are working, are not broken. So I excluded them in the tab, in the setting tab. I excluded those affiliation links like Expedia, Booking.com, and those, but they're still coming up as broken link, even if I have excluded them. So I wanted to know if there is a way to fix that, or maybe I did something wrong.
So you've ignored the broken links from the report, and they're still showing up.
Yeah, I can share the screenshot where I put the links to be ignored if you want.
Yes, please.
So here, hold on a second. Okay, it's there in the chat.
Loading. Okay, I just want to check that real quick, but I think you have to specify the specific link. What this is doing is, yeah, that should be just ignoring links to the main website.
Oh no, that's impossible.
Okay, yeah, what you can do is if you put a little star at the end of the URL, then that'll tell Link Whisper, okay, ignore everything in this domain.
Ah, okay, that's doable. Okay, so just a star at the end of each link.
That is correct.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we've come to the end of our question portion. How is Dave's site coming along, Matt?
Let's take a check. Yeah, we've bumped up his link coverage by 2%. The link relations score is the reason it dipped back down was because it turns out that I needed to run a link scan after processing all the data in order to refresh the data in the links table. But so now we're seeing at 48%. A lot of these are for service pages and things like that. So I think that if he cleans up all of the orphan pages with no or little content, the link relation score will jump up as well as the link coverage. And just one advisement.
Uh-huh.
I see there's a lot of links that the anchor text is click here.
Uh-huh.
And it would be a very good idea to make those more descriptive. So if it's like click here for the report on education, or click here for your Texas representative information, just basically so you can tell the user what it is he's going to find at the other end of the link. That helps both the visitors and Google.
Okay. I'll start doing that. You know, whenever I do this stuff, I get a model, and and most of those where it says click here, directly, well, like right there, directly proximate to, you see what you're talking about, where there were shepherds for sale. So that, but I guess I just need to make the whole thing a link. I mean, like details. Well, no, that's not source of publication. I'll change it. I'll do something different. But I just go for uniformity, because a lot of my stuff is I read, review, and report kind of things, what I say, and those are what I refer to as my sources and summaries. And so I strive for uniformity, so I don't have to think through everything all the time.
I totally get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the lady was saying about, and I haven't experienced any excessive chat GPT charges, because you just fired the thing off. I did that incorrectly. So like you were saying, is it a correct statement that every time, like the lady was saying, it was $100 or something for 100 aside for a month or whatever it was. But in any case, so when I light this thing off, does LinkedIn automatically rerun everything, or is that an initiated process? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'll just go through the processes quick.
Okay.
Yeah, these up here are all activated on. These are activated on only two occasions: either when you process the data, or when you publish a new post. So when you publish a new post, Link Whisper will scan it to say, okay, how related is it to other sites? And it'll say, okay, what keywords does this post have?
And now, is that just the new post, or does it go back through the entire site? Just the new post?
Well, it does do primarily just the new post. If you make a significant edit to an existing post, that will also trigger a rescan, but there's no periodic just processing the content that goes on.
Okay.
If you turn on the AI-powered suggestions, then Link Whisper will scan through your content, and it scans it in a much more in-depth process. And so both it'll run somewhat higher, and it will also be an ongoing sort of thing. So like every couple of weeks, it'll go over your posts and say, okay, what can I link to? What can't I link to? And it'll do its best to keep things current.
Okay.
Primarily, it watches post edits. So if a post is edited, it will jump that to the front of the line and process that first, because that's going to have the most relevant link changes. But that does run in the background. If you don't want that, then just turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, so we've made some improvements and some advisements for the site. And do you have another question?
No, I just expressing gratitude and happiness and blah blah blah. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your site. It was fun to go through it and get to work on it, and also it's fun talking to you.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. Likewise, and I appreciate you guys very much. And so, Samara, send me those super secret links so that I can spring into action.
Excellent. Thanks,
yes,
Dave.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you very much.
We have one last question, and then we'll shut the webinar down, if that's okay. Reese, do you want to ask your question? I see you just snuck it in here. Are you there, Reese? It's too noisy. Reese says, what's the best AI model to use for keyword analysis?
Overall, GPT 4.0 Mini, because it's smart enough to get the keywords or to get the keywords accurately, but it's also really cheap, so you get the best bang for your buck overall. They can be more relevant if you just use GPT-4o, but the price is usually 10 to 12 times higher. So it's, yeah, if you've got a small site, then maybe you do want 4o, maybe you do want it to be somewhat more targeted, but like in 80-90% of cases, 4o mini is the way to go.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. As always, it's a pleasure to hang out with other Link Whisper fans. Thank you, Matt, for all of your hard work and going through the sites and explaining everything and answering everyone's questions and your patience and your expertise. Thank you. Thanks again, everyone. Whatever you need, we're always here. So shoot us a message if you have any questions, if you have any issues, don't be shy. And we'll send out the replay as soon as it's ready, and we will catch you guys on the next webinar.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.